Welcome back to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that becoming the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about following macros, a meal plan, or killing yourself at the gym. You have to look at a holistic approach, looking at stress management, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, support system, and of course, exercise and nutrition. I'm your host, Nicole Coyne, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of the Healthy Kids Cookbook, 100% kid-approved recipes the entire family will love. You can find it on Amazon. In this podcast, I am going to teach you how to take one step at a time to becoming the healthiest version of yourself. Today's guest is Marsha. She is a nutrition coach at South Hall CrossFit. She wasn't always a nutrition coach though. She started out as an athlete first, then signed up for nutrition coaching for help with her own personal health and wellness nutrition goals. She saw such amazing results that she decided she wanted to become a coach and pay it forward, help other people. I had the opportunity to meet her in person when we took our media team to capture some of the really inspiring stories that are happening at South Hall CrossFit. And when I met her in person, her infectious positivity, I was like, man, I want her to come on this podcast. I know that she can inspire other people. Well, I hope you enjoy this podcast episode with Marsha to hear her journey from athlete to client to nutrition coach, now helping other people. We will get to this episode right after this message. Did you know that Healthy Steps Nutrition has a standalone nutrition coaching course? That's right, I wrote the Basics of Nutrition Coaching CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this course, you will learn the fundamental skills to become an effective nutrition coach. You will understand the why behind why we do what we do, why we focus on a holistic and habit-based approach. You even get coached by one of our dietitians, nutrition coaches at our HQ location. The last step of the process is some one-on-one mentoring to help you launch with confidence. The whole goal of this course is to teach you the fundamental skills, but also the application so that you can start helping people transform their life through a habit-based approach. If you're looking for more information, definitely click the link in the show notes. All right, let's get to this episode with Marsha. Enjoy. Marsha, welcome to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast.
Hi, how are you?
Doing awesome. I'm so excited to see you. Just saw you a few days ago. We were in Atlanta capturing some of the success stories and just stories inside South Hall, the impact that you guys are having to change people's lives through nutrition, fitness, and accountability. And gosh, everyone made a point to come up to me and tell me how special you were and how much you've helped them. And I was like, you know what? Let's just bring you on the podcast to talk about this.
That's awesome.
So you are one of the nutrition coaches at South Hall CrossFit, but you did not always be the nutrition coach. You were actually a client first, member of the gym, then nutrition client. Talk to me about why you joined the gym in a couple sentences, but then really, why did you become a nutrition client? Why did you sign up for nutrition coaching?
I started going to the gym about 6 years ago, and I had done some CrossFit type workouts with a coworker, and he'd got me really interested in lifting weights and things like that. It's kind of a joke. I had a pet that died that summer, and after a week, I was like, I can sit here and cry, or I can go lift weights. So I went to South Hall CrossFit, and my friend that had started me CrossFitting at work told me it would change my life. I kind of rolled my eyes at him, but it really did. I worked out for about 2 years. That school year started, and I work at a technical school, and we have a healthcare class. And one of the kids took my blood pressure one day. And when he took the blood pressure, he was like, "That's weird." As soon as I listened for it, I heard it. Which meant my blood pressure was 180 over something. And I just assumed he didn't know what he was doing because he was learning. And that weekend I went and had it checked, and I went to the emergency room because I had extremely high blood pressure, and my dad has extremely high blood pressure. So that got me thinking of I needed to change something with my habits.
Okay, so you had an eye-opening experience accidentally when someone's practicing taking blood pressure. Then you're like, okay, wait a second, it really is high. So then you decided, all right, I need to make some changes. So was your primary goal for signing up and getting started with nutrition coaching to get the blood pressure down? Was it to lose weight? Like, what were you really wanting in that period?
Well, it very much scared me from a health perspective. So I really wanted to get my blood pressure down. But
Okay.
throughout my life, I've struggled with my weight. So I also wanted to get my weight down too.
You showed me a before and after picture, and we'll have to put it in the show notes if you're comfortable with that. Because I was like,
Yes.
holy cow, you are a different person
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, you signed up for nutrition coaching, you had this eye-opening experience. Well, before you did Healthy Steps Nutrition, what other kind of nutrition coaching programs have you tried in the past? I know you mentioned when we were at the gym, like you had, gained and lost some weight over the years, like tried things, they worked for a little bit. And I think that's probably most of our listeners. Like you try a lot of different things, it works for a short period of time, and then you go back to old habits and gain it back.
Yeah. I joke that I'm a really good loser because I can lose weight. I just have never had consistent success with it. So I have done Weight Watchers and done their point system. I have done the whole 30 and made it through the whole 30 days. And I learned a lot from each thing that I did. I also had a time where I was under medical supervision and I was taking a weight loss pill, lost a ton of weight, but as soon as I quit, it just all came back.
So dieting and making changes is not something that was like a foreign language to you
No,
when
no.
you started. What was different that caused you to make the changes and stick with it for the long haul when you started Healthy Steps Nutrition?
I think for me, just the focus on eating real food. I had done a lot of, you know, eating what I thought was healthy or what was going to like be the miracle or the thing that changed. And it had never occurred to me that just the basic real food, I joke that vegetables are magical. And if you would ask my mom, she just rolls her eyes at me when I talk about it because like I grew up and cried every night because I didn't want to eat my vegetables. Now I eat a half a plate of vegetables every meal that I eat.
You live and breathe healthy eating, and it is so obvious. One of the things that we've talked to a lot of our coaches about is like, hey, you have to walk the walk. Like you are bought in to everything with the coaching program through Healthy Steps Nutrition and delivering such a great job at South Hall because you saw what it felt like. You saw, hey, I can do this, I can see good results, I can feel better. I mean, you open up the story loop of the blood pressure. How's your blood pressure now?
Oh, it's perfect. It's fine. I took it last night and it was 125/70. I mean, it's when I tell people it changed my life and it is worth the investment. I mean, I am a different person because of the nutrition program. And it's been great for nutrition. It's been great for health, but it's also continued to follow me through just life, what I can do better, how I can do work better, how I can do my finances better, how I can do like my chores around the house better and be more mindful and make it easy.
I think that's the goal, right? It has to be easy if
Yes.
we want to stick to it. We'll have to tell the finance story about Joel at some point during this podcast because that was hilarious. All right. So you go through the program, you see great results. You're like, man, I want to pay it forward. I want to help other people. What prompted you to become a nutrition coach?
So that spring, Alec, our gym owner, came to me and was like, I'm thinking that you should be his sister Kristen was the nutrition coach that I was under. And he was like, I think this is a good opportunity. I think you'll be great at it. And I want you to go through the nutrition training program. And that scared me to death.
Why were you scared?
I don't know. I'm a teacher by nature. I love people, but I felt like honestly, it was so easy to make the changes for myself that how could this work for everyone, you know?
Okay. Okay. So you go through the training and you start helping people. Like, what were you wanting out of this new role? Obviously, you mentioned, you're a teacher, you're used to helping kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were you wanting for yourself and for clients becoming a nutrition coach now at South Hall?
I think for me, I know personally, I struggled all of my life with my weight. I would shop for clothes based on like what covered certain parts of me. I would pick clothes based on how they fit. And I just felt like through the nutrition program, I was able to get a lot of self confidence. I was able to kind of get away from a diet mentality. And it sounds cheesy, but I was able to just become the person I've always been and be confident to be that person. And if I could give that, just a little bit of that to someone else or help someone else have that, then that would be awesome.
And clearly, you have done that, even with people that are not active clients. I remember talking to someone that we were all having a conversation at the end, and you had posted a video about protein and how you're eating this protein. And she's like, Nicole, I watched that video and now I'm doing the same thing and now I'm feeling better. All these things, like it's such a passion of yours, and people can just feel it because you have that help first mentality and want to help other people see amazing results and really feel confident in their skin.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things that, for me personally, as a coach, that really developed my coaching skills was your mentoring program. For probably like the first year, I was kind of scared of it, and we didn't do consistent mentor coaching. And then during the pandemic, when everything shut down, that's kind of where we started. And we've been like, I think we've been true to it every month since then. But somebody told me that first meeting during a mentor meeting, you want to make sure that everyone in your gym, all your friends, everyone needs to know you're the person to go to for help. And
So,
that's been huge.
yeah, I think that dieting and losing weight and wanting to feel better, wanting to have more energy. Like, I can think of every single person that I know wanting to feel better, wanting to have more energy, that probably could use some help and accountability with their nutrition. Like, even myself, right? Like, we could all have a coach and benefit from a coach. The thing is there's so much misinformation out there in regards to nutrition and diets, and there's a ton of money pumped into advertising that people are confused on what is right for them. But at the end of the day, people buy from people. And if you have built relationships and you've slowly earned people's trust and given them tips and helped them along the way, when they're ready to invest in themselves, they're going to come to you.
Oh, yeah. And I have that happen all the time. I have friends that reach out to me on my Instagram, on my Facebook, people I went to high school with. Actually, my one of my old neighbors from growing up, from like when I was like 10 years old, is one of my clients right now. But they might reach out, they might ask questions, and eventually, usually they'll say, okay, I'm ready to come in and meet. I'm ready to change and make this happen.
And that's perfect because you're not forcing anyone into anything. Like, they're seeking you out. And when they're ready and they're going to commit the time and energy, and they just need a guide, someone to help them, you're going to be that person to help them. You mentioned your neighbor, but even some of the people that you brought in for us to capture their stories, one of them is not a CrossFit member. You guys have quite a few nutrition clients in your gym that are not members of your gym. And I think that's such a foreign concept to a lot of gym owners.
Yeah, I think when we first started, I was doing a really good job getting out my message, but I don't think as a gym, we were doing a great job getting out our message to our clients. So it's funny, my first like 5 clients all came from a different gym that didn't have nutrition, and they all came to me, and that was awesome. But I think we've done a much better job, especially through the mentoring and things like that, getting our message out to our clients. And now we have coaches that when they talk to a client about something, they're like, you should go see Marsha, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so you're helping people inside the gym and outside the gym. I had an opportunity to meet one of your clients, Joel, who is a riot, and he was talking about how much money he saved by investing in the nutrition coaching program. I would love for you just to share a snippet of this story.
Yeah. So when he started with me, we really talked about the plate method. We talked about intuitive eating, and we talked about eating at home more often. And him and his wife did a lot of Uber Eats deliveries. And he told me the first month that he met with me that he had saved over $1,200 by not Uber eating and cooking at home.
So his waist went down and his bank account went up, essentially.
Yes. Yes. I was like, you should pay me more then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. You've been a nutrition coach for a while now.
Hmm.
I think a lot of times when we start coaching with nutrition, we feel like our value is telling people, the foods that they should be eating or what meals they should be prepping, or sometimes even a lot of coaches think like macros. And even people that seek us out sometimes are like, "Hey, will you give me a meal plan and macros?" And I'm always like, "Well, you don't actually need that. You can look that up online. Like, that's not the value in our coaching program. Our value is the guide that's walking you through, keeping you accountable." What have you learned? I mean, obviously you experienced it from a client first, so you had an idea, but I'm sure even starting to coach clients and now having quite a bit of experience coaching clients, what have you learned about your value as a coach versus what you thought it would be when you got started coaching?
Yeah. So when I first started coaching, I had personally done a lot of using the meal plan. I had done a lot of macro counting. I tell people that when I was macro counting, there was a time that I was counting out hot tamale candies to make sure that I'd get my carbohydrates. Obviously, that's not healthy. I know, right? And I slowly, through being coached, learned the value of the plate method. And that's why I love it so much. I set my meals up when I cook them here at home and meal prep. I'd use the plate method anytime that I'm setting up a meal. When I go out to eat, I naturally use the plate method. At school, when we have food, at the gym, when there's food, I will look down and without even thinking about it, I have the plate method. I think that is what makes it so sustainable for me personally, the habit of portioning out your food like that. And I feel like that's something you can take with you forever. It takes the worry out of counting everything in MyFitnessPal or however you're going to use it. It just makes it easy. Food is easy. I don't think about it. And that's where I'd like to help my clients get to, not just to hit their weight loss goal, but to make it where, I mean, I spend a lot of time and worry being very overweight, worrying about food 24/7. And I want them to get to a point where you don't have to worry about it. You just do it naturally.
Yeah. One of the things that we talk about at Healthy Steps Nutrition is really that holistic approach. So it's not
Hmm.
just about the food that you're sticking in your mouth. There's a lot of other factors that go into the influences that impact your nutrition decisions, like stress management and sleep and support system, exercise, your lifestyle, right? Like
Hmm.
mindset.
Oh, yes.
What is the internal conversation you're having with in your head? Like all of these other aspects are things that you've helped work through with your clients. Any like stories coming up for you, or things that you can think about of like, hey, this was something that because we looked at a holistic approach, we really were able to help this person move the needle forward.
Yeah. So I have a client right now who just started a new job, and our same job, different job description, and her stress level is very high. And she came in to me one week, and her water is all off, her weight, everything has changed dramatically. And she's like, I know it's my sleep. I know it's my sleep. But when we actually sat down to talk about why it was affecting her sleep, it was actually her stress that was affecting her sleep. So we talked about different ways that she could handle some stress management, different trade-offs that maybe she can take. Maybe there is some boundaries from work that she needs to put in place so she can stop at a certain time. So then she can get in bed at a certain time. But it's definitely, and by going through that and letting her talk out her stress and her sleep, we learned that the nights that she doesn't get sleep because of her stress, she eats more the next day. So it is a lot more than just the food. It is the holistic approach when you're talking with clients.
And I can tell you from my personal experience, it allows you as a coach to deepen that relationship and that connection with the clients. I think across all the coaches that we interviewed over the weekend, and even your clients that I talked to, like, they value the connection that they have with you, the relationship that they have with you. It's not an information access relationship. It's a mentor relationship where you're really helping them talk through things that they haven't really thought through completely yet. And I think if people understood how much value you can provide as a nutrition coach and really a health coach, helping someone become the best version of themselves, like, it is the most rewarding job we could have ever imagined for anyone.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it when my clients come in and they're like, I've been thinking about this and I think I need to work on this, or I think I could do better with this. I love it. I love where instead of I think a lot of times when clients come in, they're frustrated, they don't know what to do, they're down, their self-esteem is down. And if you can get them to just like, what's that one thing I need to work on these next 2 weeks? Or what's the one thing we need to work on this month? I love it when they come in with ideas and they guide what we're going to hold them accountable for.
Absolutely. They have to be in the driver's seat for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, I'd love to hear, number one, what is one action step that you would give people? You mentioned the plate method a few times, so I'm assuming that's going to be one of
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's your thing. But do you want to just talk through the plate method for a second? Like, how do you implement it, and what would you say to someone who's maybe never done the plate method before?
The plate method is a half a plate vegetables, a quarter of the plate protein, a quarter of the plate starchy vegetables or carbs, and a little bit of fat. And when my clients ask me, what does that look like? Because, everybody they think there's a magic potion that they have to follow immediately, but I tell them about 2 fistfuls of vegetables. So that's about 2 cups of vegetables, which is a lot for some people if they haven't eaten vegetables. And then we talk about, for a lot of the women that I coach, about a palm size of protein. And that's probably about a half a cup. More for men, and a little bit like a cupped hand or half a cupped hand for that carbohydrate. We talk about the healthy fat that you want to adds a lot of flavor to whatever you're having, but it's a lot more calories than a lot of the other foods on your plate. So you want like a thumbprint size. For a guy, maybe 2 thumbprint size. But if a client's starting off with me, I always say, let's start with have a vegetable at each meal, lunch and dinner. Can you do that? And then we work our way up to, how about a half a plate of vegetables? And then we start on protein. And that real food really is what the key is. Real food is delicious. You're probably not going to overeat it. And it's very filling and it doesn't have many calories. So just naturally, you're going to probably change your body composition or lose weight. And so yes, if you look on my Instagram, almost every night I post my plate method meal. I love it.
Well, now that you mentioned it, that was going to be my next question. Where can people find you? And for people in, the outskirts Atlanta area that are looking for a nutrition coach to help them, southhallcrossfit.com is where, you get your nutrition clients, or, where can people find you on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm Marsha Bag. That's my name. I'm open in public so people can follow that. I feel like it's funny to me. So many people will just every once in a while message me, you made a difference because you posted this, which is awesome. That lights me on fire. I had a friend one time say something about her nutrition coach. And I said, oh, who's your nutrition coach? And she's like, oh, I follow you on Instagram.
Okay. Well, if you're ready for some more accountability, then I'm here to help too.
Exactly. I'd love to get them in. But honestly, it's just been such a change for me and improved my life so much that, just the person I am, even if they're just following me on Instagram and it makes them better, that is awesome. I had a former student from 20 years ago message me one day and he said, Miss Baggett, still calls me Miss Baggett. He's 40. He said, that plate method works. I've been doing it for about 6 months and I've lost about 50 pounds. And that is just amazing, just on his own, based off of my content that he's seen, that he's changed his life. You can't ask for more than that. Yeah.
No, you've made such an impact in the people in your community and just people that are surrounded by you. You're so passionate about helping people. So I'm super excited to be partnered with you to help you guys be able to reach more people through the Healthy Steps Nutrition Program. We'll make sure to link your social media in the show notes so that people can follow you. And I'm excited for your video. It should be released in the next few weeks to come out because your story and the testimonial video that you did was such an amazing story that I know will inspire other people.
That was awesome for y'all to come visit. That was really neat. The gym loved it.
Awesome. All right, Marsha, thanks for coming on.
Okay, thanks. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed that episode with Marsha. She talked a lot about the plate method. You know, at Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple habit-based approach. So if you are looking to just get started and get healthy today, start out by just doing one thing consistently. Do it for a week, 2 weeks. Once you nail that down, then add the next thing to your plate. I will tell you that having a coach to walk beside you to be your guide is going to help you be more successful. We know that clients that do higher accountability and that talk to our coaches more often, they're more successful because we all need that accountability partner. We all need that coach to keep us on track when life distracts us. So if you are looking for a nutrition coach, you can go to hiranutritioncoach.com and find a Healthy Steps Nutrition coach near you, or you can go to healthystepsnutrition.com and apply for coaching to work with one of our Healthy Steps Nutrition HQ dietitians or nutrition coaches. All right, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode with Marsha. Go follow her on Instagram. I promise you're going to be inspired. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review. We'll see you back here next week.